Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, my lovely wife. C.
Good morning, baby.
Good morning, my engineer.
Good morning, baby.
Good morning, the person that gets everything going and always the first to say good morning. Come on, Cookie.
Good morning.
And I'm saying hello to Cookie. She jumps down here. She wants to be part of the show. Dr. Ted will be joining us shortly. Gene is fashionably late. Everybody's segueing in. That's their way. But me, unlike the rest of them, I'm always front and center on time. I'm right here. I'm ready to do what I'm doing. I've been carrying Cece this moment. This morning, I had a few things to do that I had to help her with, as usual. My wife was doing her thing, relaxing, taking her last 5 minutes in bed, eating a bag of chips and stuff like that, and I was doing that. I got a fan.
Yeah.
Gina,
Good
good morning. I
morning.
was know how you know what I mean about me being a person that says we're live. That it's always on me to be, front, center, present, all that kind of stuff. Everybody out there podcasting, I want y'all to know about my commitment. I woke up today at 6 o'clock. And I've been doing everything all this morning and stuff like that about the podcast. Gina was not, probably still asleep.
I
CC
do.
was not, probably still asleep. And Dr. Ted probably somewhere going up there with Captain Kirk shooting around in spaceships or something like that. So your fearless leader, me, once again, the glue, the one that does this, was
And
here
any
doing this.
and anybody that believed that story, the Brooklyn Bridge is for sale. Just cash at me your money, and I got you.
It's truly amazing to me how everybody runs over here and makes sure that they, do so much. I got such an awesome team, Gina and them, who already talked with CC in length quite some time, how they have their what's called topics and all together. Gina does a lot of research. She has her topics together. And CC has been dealing with it since about 6 o'clock this morning. That's their way. And Doc's get ready to get in here. I just want to let y'all know it's not a lot to it, but it's a little more to it than it seems. And the Ginas and the CC and them, they put so much work into this thing, making sure that it's on time and everything like that, and how they jump up and get prepared. And I laugh because me and Doc Ted, we just come click the button and off we go. So, first of all, good morning, Gina, Rosanna, Dana, Anna. I like to make sure that we always know, y'all, to people that's doing these things, podcasts, if y'all don't know what goes into it, it's a little work. Gina puts a lot of work into it. And Cece put a lot of work into it. Doctor's just, this is what he does for a living. It's what he's always done. And I don't do nothing but stumble down the steps. I don't even plug my own darn thing in. I'll plug it. I don't even plug my what am I on, baby?
Tablet.
I don't even plug my tablet in. So make sure that y'all take time out always to tell the persons out here that's doing all the leg work and stuff. If they happen to be your wife, uh, co-worker, a friend that helps you out and stuff like that, make sure to take time for a minute to tell them that you notice that they're doing a good job and thank you. All right, y'all. Let me get out praying real quick. Go from there. Father God, thank you for the wonderful things that's going on in our lives, Father God. We always pray for everybody over there fighting them God-forsaken wars so that we could, you know, just go through our daily routines and enjoy life. You have families over there losing mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, limbs, eyes, sight, family, and what have you. Just making sure that we're okay. Prayers for them. Father God, we pray for everybody dealing with their God-forsaken pandemic, who's doing whatever they can to get past just so they can survive. Prayers out to the Powell fam, Mr. Bowling Powell, who we just lost, dealing with this God-forsaken virus. Prayers for him. Moment of silence, everybody, please. Amen.
Amen.
You see that Gina's having a little bit of difficulty this morning. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, my friend?
Good morning,
I'm
Doc.
good. 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 Good morning. Good morning.
Gina's a little in and out today. I guess she's working with her system right now as we speak. You know, we had a good time on our vacation. Doc been gone for a minute.
I saw.
Yeah.
How was
I
it?
just was, man, it was awesome. How was it, C?
It was fantastic.
I
I'm
know that's
telling you.
right.
As soon as the plane got back over top of the West Coast, I said, here we go. Over top of the East Coast, I said, here we go back to this old ugly, cold place.
This ugly, cold place that we call home. We were just talking about. I was making mention of persons like yourself, Doc, who get out there with the sacrifice and the commitment. We want to thank you and salute you for all that you do. The Ginas, you know what I mean? Her and Cece get up and they start talking about topics. 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, Gina's figuring out everything that has to be done, the routine of a day. Cece's been up since 6:30, making sure that the podcast is live and well. And I laugh and joke and kicking and stuff, but every now and then, y'all, in my opinion, don't always assume that everybody knows that you appreciate what they're doing and thank you. You know what I mean? Just tell Gina thank you. You know what I mean? I know you're losing a lot of your period of your day. You know, Gina, just thank you. I just want to tell CC, you know what I mean? That gets up first thing in the morning dealing with this and tagging all y'all people. Just thank you. Doc, who has a full day all the time. Gina always comments and make sure that we remember who spends not only his time saving the world locally, but all over the world. And myself, who feels to y'all out there real passionate about this. That's why when I close, you know what I mean, the work I done speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may they say, may the service that we give on this podcast speak for me. You know, thank y'all for allowing us into your home, onto your phone, into your life. Taking up some time that y'all put aside just to chime in and say thank you or good morning or something like that. If we ever get too busy to say thank you. So I want to take time out right now and individually make sure to tell somebody. Gina Lee, I know that you do a lot, and I know that we lean on you to do a whole gang of stuff. And I know, like I'm saying, Doc, I just jump out the bed and do nothing. And then no CC, am I plugged in? Am I ready? You know, Gina, if I haven't taken time out to just tell you this, I know it doesn't always have to be said, but I want to tell you I love you, and I just want to say thank you. CC, my lovely wife, who's my co-host now on Who You With, who's spends all that time putting together this engineering part and making the colors change and making sure that I'm squared off and making sure that everything is going on. I just want to say for the podcast, the part that you play, I've been too busy. My lovely wife, co-host, engineer. This time I just want to say thank you.
You're more than welcome.
That's what's up.
I know that you have a gang of degrees. I know you're a world traveler. I know your family. Doc and I are literally family through marriage. You know what I mean? Literally. You know what I mean? But I mean, I also come up with him. I ain't gonna say I grew up with him because we had levels. I was out there, but I wasn't on Doc, Lil Melvin, and Liddy Jones, and Peanut. I wasn't on that level. I was out. My name was ringing in the street, but I wasn't on that level. I want to know that the time that you take out, you know what I mean, to try to get in here and plug yourself into and give away a suit or two or hand out something, give away some food, man. If I'm not ever too busy to do anything else, I want to take right now, Doc, to tell you I love you and just simply thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome, brother. I greatly appreciate it, and it's coming from a class act, so I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Doc.
That's
Everybody
right.
out there, one last thing to podcast land. Everybody that's out there, it just keeps this thing strong. It keeps it going. I just want to tell everybody out there, I enjoy this probably more than anybody for allowing me back into your home, for allowing me back into your life. Joseph Myers, my friend from 50 years ago. I grew up with his little brother and them, we connecting from Facebook and Simply Us, Let's Talk and Who You With and all that. Everybody, this Facebook is not just something that we do that we kick and say hello. It joins a lot of people, getting a lot of people back in the circle and contact with people. You know what I mean? So use it also as a vehicle that you use to get some stuff done. But sometimes, y'all, I have a roll call every morning. Just tell somebody you love them. Just tell somebody thank you for too late. Pastor Rhonda Samuel said it all the time. He said it at her father. My father, his flowers while he's still alive. Give it to him while he can sell them. Don't always tell somebody you love them when they're dead, or cry while they laying there in the bed with them. Cry while they laying there in the casket. Take your time out today and say this. My wife ends every show with the same thing. She says, what do you always say? Do what? What, CC?
Random acts of kindness.
Random acts of kindness. So my random act of kindness today was just plain and simple. Good morning and thank you. So good morning and thank you. All right, y'all, we're going to get out here and get started on what we're doing. We know, speaking of that, I know Gina has some topics because her and Cece already get together and talk. So they have some topics and stuff that they've worked on. Gina, we'll start with you today. Doc, what do you look like time-wise? You got a little time today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good right now, brother.
Okay, well, we're going to let Gina do our usual and start. Gina, what you got for us today? I'm Party Marty. This is Simply Us. Let's talk.
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Good morning on the panel. Good morning, podcast land. And second of all, yes, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning as well. Because I there have a new job. I'm a crossing guard for Summit Park Elementary. And I came back and I logged into the podcast. So, yes, I'm a devoted member of the podcast panel as well. So,
That's right.
yes.
Hey, Doc, I was telling her and CC been up. I'm in the bed. Laying there in the bed. They steady talking about topics and stuff. I go lay down and get 5 more minutes, Doc. I swear, no matter what, Gina, as soon as the podcast and stuff get ready to start, for some reason I get sleepy, Doc. And I want a bag of chips. I don't know what's the matter with me. Cece rolled over 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, did you talk with Gina yet? And that's what she reminded me. Gina probably been up since 5 o'clock. She a crossing guard. 7 o'clock, she got to be at her post. I said, Lord have mercy, I quit that job. But anyway.
And gotta go back.
Gotta go back. Ain't that something?
Hey, Gina, so where you located? In case anybody want to say hi, where's your post?
I'm at Summit Park, right in front of the door. Summit Park Elementary School on Diana Avenue, off of Green.
Where's Diana Avenue at? Where's that at?
Off of Green Spring.
Okay.
Over there by Cross Station. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And just in case anybody want to know, I'm already in rehearsal for 3, not 1, 3 plays with Arena Play.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, so and you do all that before breakfast.
I ain't got no free time to be playing around. I got 3 plays that I'm trying to put to memory. Not only that, I'm doing Harriet Tubman again this Friday for the Douglas High School reunion. Okay. So,
really?
Yeah, I'm busy. Yes, I am. Okay. So my topic today is my first topic, should I say.
You know what? And you just before you get into that, just to share something real quick, I just think that with you saying that, I had to interject this. I was actually talking on the phone for about an hour and a half to Harriet Tubman's great grandniece. Her name is Rita Daniels. And, we were on the panel, before, and we are talking about, doing some different things. And because I'll be the speaker at the Harriet Tubman Award this year coming up. And, so I just wanted to share that with you saying that. I'm like, I'm 100% on board with you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hands up,
I'm so
hands
glad, so
up,
glad.
hands up.
Yes, yes.
The
So
Harriet
glad to
Tubman
know that
Award.
you're
What is that, Doc and Gina? What is that you're talking about?
Well, what I was talking about was they have a Harriet Tubman Award, and they give it to different people who have been doing some people of color, actually, who have been doing some dynamic, things, and they give an award, out that. And so some people kind of select some people that are doing some different things. So I actually received an award with Judge Joe Brown and George Floyd's uncle on last year. And I had a chance to say some words, but it went so well that they asked for me to be the actual keynote speaker for this
Oh,
year,
man.
coming up.
wow,
Hands
Thank
up.
you.
fantastic,
Thank you.
That's great.
fantastic. Is that going to be in Auburn?
No, this is actually they do this in Alabama, near Alabama A&M, and near Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay, okay, all right. Oh, that's
Wow.
fantastic.
And they're
That's
putting
Fantastic.
together a speaking series that they want me a part of with George Floyd's some people from George Floyd's family and Judge Joe Brown, and also Harriet Tubman's great grandniece. And they want us to go to some of the different schools like Tuskegee, like Clark Atlanta, like Jackson State, and different things of that nature. So they're putting together. They want us to go to some of the HBCUs, in Birmingham and different places all around. So we've been talking, and I'm excited about it, to just be able to get the message out.
Yes,
That is
Hey,
exciting.
Doc.
yes.
Doc, I would like to have some advance notice for something like that. You know what I mean? Because Gina still does Did You Know? And I mean, Cece and I from the podcast and stuff are willing to reach an alpine, because if this is something that she might be willing to actually go to, we would foot the bill, you know what I mean, for you to have you speak and have her announce from there, you know what I mean, do a little would you know, wouldn't you, Cece?
Yes.
I think that would be awesome. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's amazing.
I know
That's amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, it's just one more feather in the cap for Simply Us. You know what I mean? I think that would be, I think that would be awesome to have part of our panel, to have her there asking questions, to have you there as an announcer, running a podcast from there. It's worth a plane ticket to us. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think
I'm saying y'all are your friends and family, so and y'all are on a mission. And that's what I feel, and so, anybody that can be a part of this mission to change what's happening out here, so that's something, that is something amazing. I think it is. Anyway,
I just want to say, for Gina goes on, Gina, I just, when Gina made mention of that, when Gina, she's passionate. When she did that thing about the $20 bill, I'll never forget that, Gina. When you said, isn't it ironic that this man was killed for a $20 bill? Isn't it ironic that they told him that they couldn't get together to publish? I mean, to circulate this $20 bill that she was already recognized for and it already passed and everything like that. But later on, you could get something else going on. And I just started thinking about this injustice that was done to this incredible woman. And after we went on that award, there go the award out of my eyes. After we went on that trip, I mean, I had no idea just exactly the ramifications, the impact this one individual had. And y'all, we don't know. We need some information on this. I mean, Gina needs to be doing the play. Doc needs to be out there doing an announcement. Y'all have no idea how awesome this individual and how game changer she was. Gina says she was a spy. She was this. She was that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna knock that brother that's not here, Donnie Glover, who's an excellent researcher and stuff like that. But if a person thinks that somebody that was sitting over there relaxing in their home was the person that was responsible for somebody going 700 miles, you know what I mean? And then, okay, that won't work to Maryland. From now, we're not going to stop there. We're going to run for 7 months. Gene and I was over there showing this one little stretch of land, CC, where next to the water that we walked by. You know how far that is? I couldn't walk to the edge of that water, Gina, in a day.
And can you imagine traveling like that in the winter at night? I mean, you can't even fathom this stuff that this individual actually did. And we just shunned it, and they just pushed it to the side.
That wasn't even outside. You hadn't even got outside of Maryland yet.
I mean, it was so overwhelming, Doc. It was so overwhelming. And to see that little reenactment, CC, they did, Gina, on the boat, when they showed him in the water, when they said, what was it, 700 slaves all ran out, running out, drowning, whatever. Give me liberty or give me death, give me freedom or give me death. Come on, man. Come on. That's and deep. I mean, we're not recognizing this.
But yet they can put Maya Angelou and Sally Ride on the face of a quarter before you would put Harriet Tubman on any currency.
This is ridiculous.
Try to use the defense that you don't want it to be counterfeited. Now, how many bills do we have out here now that have that strip in them to keep them from being counterfeited?
Exactly. And I'm trying to figure out what one has to do with the other. The picture on the money, well, I don't even understand whose picture's on it. Doesn't make it any less or more susceptible to being counterfeited. That's an argument that doesn't even make sense.
Well, let me just share something, just Richard, real quick. And I happen to have known a little bit about the underworld to a certain degree, and I possibly may have heard, maybe, you know, of a situation of a person that dealt with counterfeit money. And so, and to be honest with you, it's just, you know, supposedly, you know, hypothetically, you know, speaking, you know, since we're on the podcast. But what I'm saying it is that there are certain things that go into making those actual plates to make counterfeit money. So they make the ones that they make, you know, in a whole to make, and a lot of detail goes into that because they have to end up having to make. So to make a new one, and this actual strip, they do watercolors now, and there's an actual bar that goes in the actual money. You know what I'm saying? And so there are two things. The certain paper, that's why they use the pen to see if it's fake or not. And then there's a bar that has a barcode that's actually inside of the money. There's a, you know, it looks like a strip that goes from one side to the other. And that's when they hold it up to the light that they're looking for. And so, you know, and I only say that to make a new one, you know what I'm saying? And to do the watercolor with the bar, it would be almost impossible for a person to just come out and they say that it was just for counterfeit money. And so it makes zero sense because it would be easier to counterfeit the money that people have because people already have the plate, the template for it. But to make a brand new one, you know what I'm saying, they don't have the template, you know what I'm saying, you know, made for that. And they're still going to do the watercolor and they still going to do the barcode inside of the paper. And so, you know, that is just, you know, something that is just not real.
But this is the thing. They've already made it's already been divulged. I don't know who leaked it. They've already made the template. Okay, so
this was just plain old fashioned sabotage, then, right, Gina? They just sabotaged this.
Exactly.
They just plain old. Everything was already ready. It was already agreed upon. All the bills have been passed. The template was already made. You just did whatever you could not to put this bill in circulation because you could.
That's right.
Yeah. Because the head of the Treasury did not want it to happen. That's all.
And i.e. it worked
because she was black.
And because now you don't have an advocate, Obama, to really push it.
Right.
You know, he was the one that was really pushing it. So now you don't have him behind the bill, you know. So
Hey, shout out, great job, wonderful people. You did it again.
Again.
You did it again. You wanted to get it passed. You wanted us not to have the bill. You wanted to sabotage it. Shout out, wonderful people. It worked. But who was it they made the coins of, Gina?
Maya Angelou and Sally Ride. Maya Angelou, and again, like I said when I did the story, I said taking nothing away from their accomplishments.
Right.
Okay, Maya Angelou is a great author and advocate for our people, has always been. And Sally Ride, the first woman to go to space. Okay, she was not an African American woman. Okay, but the first woman to go to space. Okay, like I said, taking nothing from their accomplishments. But who among us could have accomplished what Harriet Tubman accomplished? Who?
Hey, Gina, do me a favor. In your Harriet Tubman voice, hit her with that. Could you do it? Hit him with that.
Could you do it? Could you?
Yeah. When Gina asked that, remember your Gwen's mother? Gwen's mother thought that she was a real Harriet Tubman. Dutch said, "How old is that lady?" I said, "Dutch."
I know.
She said, "Could you do it?"
Thinking that she was actually Harriet Tubman. I said, "Come on now, y'all. Them drinks ain't
When
that
she hit
good."
the deck with the stick, with the walking stick, could you do it? Could you do it? I seen Gwen's mother over there and said, "Dang, no, I couldn't touch that." How old is she? I looked at her.
See, half of us, I mean, think about this. Half of us could not walk from here to, freely, without anybody chasing us, without dogs and horses and slave masters and without people, on horseback running after you. Could not get from here to Delaware. And this woman went all the way to Canada.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We couldn't even walk downtown. For real.
Hey, she's right. Do you know I never walked downtown.
We can't even walk from here to downtown. Shoot, we be out
Listen, think about it, Doc and Gina, because they're passing through the neighborhoods. You couldn't just walk through Lexington Terrace. You couldn't just walk through them high rises. You couldn't just walk past Emerson and Bryce. Couldn't just walk past there. So you talking about somebody chasing you in the woods at night on horseback to murder you? All we thinking about is don't want to get in a fight.
Right.
And Doc just standing over there next to them when we was at the war with Gina and this guy and Gina, I will get this. I hated to drift off. But Gina told us about this. Al driver, Al tour guide, this cat was so knowledgeable. Wasn't he seeing Gina? And he did so much.
Yeah.
Gina will recognize him too. But he did so much. He walked us over there by the water, just to show us the path they took. I wasn't over there by the water for 3 minutes, and I was doing this. Mosquitoes and stuff start biting you. Them gnats and stuff getting around. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what they were going through at night in them swamps, bugs biting you?
Right.
You don't have a clue.
They couldn't spray no.
I go down, turn the station to that party. Man, they be dancing and stuff like that. Hey, Jack, them bugs be biting me. I be saying, man, y'all don't know that we shouldn't be out here. I'm over here hitting bugs. It's like the bugs only bite me. Down there by that water, anywhere you buy water, man, them gnats and them bugs.
Yeah, them mosquitoes, yes.
Them people had to endure cold in 7 months, and then I apologize. I'll get back to you, Gina. A 7-month trip that literally goes through every season. In 7 months, you go through winter, summer, spring, and fall. Right or wrong?
You're right.
You go through it. You hot, cold, rainy, miserable. And you 5 feet tall.
5 feet tall.
Mm, mm, mm.
She probably
Hey,
don't
Jack,
even come up to your
yeah,
waist, Doc.
we're a compassionate group, and we got on a topic that we need to discuss, so we did. Back to you, Gina.
Okay. So now that I've defended my time, my topic for today was Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley has become the highest paid Black female basketball coach.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
Yeah. Dawn
Hands up!
Staley,
Hands up! Hands up!
she just signed a contract for $22.4 million over a course of I think it's 5 years. She'll get $3 million a year, and no, 7 years. I'm sorry, and which makes her the highest paid Black coach in women's basketball. Now, this girl, I don't know whether y'all are familiar, because I'm a sports fan, so you know I've kind of followed her career from way back. She's been in the Olympics several times. She was so well known. She's the one that carried the USA flag in 2004. And from that point on, she's from Philly, East Philly, and from the projects. And she grew up. She went to the University of Virginia, and she credits the coaches there for encouraging her to even get on the basketball team, because her initial aspirations were communications. She wanted to be a broadcaster. So she's been inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. She's a phenomenal, and probably still is a phenomenal player. She's 51 years old now, but she was the Allen Iverson of male basketball. You know what I'm saying? Point guard. Point guard for the team. And now she's coached for the University of South Carolina. And she says, I know that, South Carolina has been noted for their racism and their inability to accept gender equality. But she said this shows that they are making an effort to progress by allowing her to be one, coach, allowing her to be two, a Black female coach, and allowing her to have a salary of $22.4 million. Three, so I wanted to acknowledge that, because she has started youth programs to get young girls into basketball. She's gone back, giving back to her community, something that a lot of our entrepreneurs, African-American entrepreneurs, don't do, even on a larger scale. Some of them do. You have the LeBrons who build schools, and bring youth into it, and basically with no money, give them an education that they would not have gotten anywhere else. You do have your handful of Black entrepreneurs who are giving back, but here you have someone before she ever made the money. She went back into her community and made sure that girls could look at her and see where she came from and know that you can aspire.
That's
So
wonderful.
I wanted to, really like highlight her today because there's only a handful, first of all, of women coaches coaching basketball, and women make 7 times less than their male counterparts.
Mm.
Okay, so that's a given. But to be able
Yeah.
to have achieved what she's achieved and not be bitter and not be, I mean, like I said, she coached the USA women's basketball team in Tokyo that we just had. She was the coach. Okay, so and they won, of course. But I mean, she's an amazing person. She really is. And all her former teammates, all of them will say the same thing. And so I'm gonna move on to my second topic because just in case I have to bow out and go, but my second topic was Dorothy Steele. Now y'all probably say, well, who the heck is Dorothy Steele? Dorothy Steele played in the movie Black Panther. And she played the queen, one of the queens. She was in charge of trading in Black Panther. And this was only her second movie. She was 88 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
She was.
Wow.
Okay. 88 years old. And she was a key figure in the movie. If my computer will act right here, she I say that about her. She passed away about a week and a half ago now. And right before y'all came back from y'all's trip, she passed away. So but to be able to get into the movies at 88 lets you know it's never too late for anything.
Right.
Right. Party Marty always says, let the miracle happen. It's never too late. So
Yeah.
I just say, this woman was on Steve after she was on Black Panther. She was on Steve Harvey. She was on, a number of talk shows. And she just it's amazing that you could become famous and almost in the later part of your life. I'm gonna show you her picture real quick if you can see it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember her in the movie. Yeah, she's 88.
88 years old. Yeah.
Still holding.
Isn't that something? And it just shows you that her character was the merchant trade leader. That's what she was.
I remember exactly who she was.
Yep. So she says that she really did not expect to get the role, but when they cast her, she said she was so excited that, and she said the thing was she had no one to tell.
Oh.
Wow. That means your family is gone.
At that age, a lot of your friends are already gone.
Right.
So
Gina, first of all, thank you very much if I cut you off, but let me get in here. Let me say this. I just want to say that y'all know I'm passionate about Gina because Gina was in my kindergarten class. We've literally been friends for 60 years. Gina's never been ashamed of her age. We're both 64 years old. She's proud of it. But I just want y'all to know something. Real talk. When Gina starts telling you about she's doing plays and all that kind of stuff like that, you just hear her reading reading over articles on Simply Us. Can't you tell that this person is gifted? I mean, can't you tell her passion? I mean, why would you not, if she tell you she's gonna be in a play, why would you not want to see it?
And she is a very gifted actress. And anybody that's watching that ever get a chance to see Gina do Harriet Tubman, it's a treat. If you ever get a
my
chance,
children was very impressed.
yes, if you ever get an opportunity
Thank you.
and she
Thank
say she's somewhere doing it, please go and see it. It'll change your whole outlook on Harriet Tubman.
You know, people out there in the world, and I know it's not a whole bunch of young people that's watching the podcast, but I'm sure we have some. I mean, man, it's endless what you can be. It is endless what you can be. She is a regular person. She started, I'm doing a play. I never thought I would get a part. Then she said, I got 3 more roles that I'm preparing for. It's endless what you can become. You do not have to be a tobacco chewing, wonderful person with a white jacket on with a big belly to become a doctor. It's endless what you can be. You are looking at a doctor. You are looking at Dr. Ted Sutton. When you hear Gina talk, she is an arena player, an arena player actress. These are regular people. She's from James Moses. She's from Gwynns Falls. She's the crossing guard. These are regular people who do not be defined by your definition of them. Let nobody tell you what you can't be. I'm an ex-dope fiend, jailbird, crack addict, alcoholic thug, sitting in a penitentiary with a attempt murder. Hands up, everybody. Attempt murder. The hell you gonna tell me what I can't be? How you gonna tell me what I can't be? If somebody would have said, "Party, you ain't in no sense of you even talking to CC. Don't nobody want your old fat ass." Well, she's my wife now. Don't tell me what I couldn't go out and get. I threw money after. I threw money at that. Thanks, Doc. Hands up. Hands up. I threw some money at it. And I bought a whole bunch of lunches. And I took to the Hampton and Jazz Fest. But I knew what I wanted. God damn it, I ended up with it.
That's right,
I ain't gonna sell myself short. Stop letting people tell you what you can't be.
Come on, brother.
I'm not going to knock anybody, and I know that we got a wonderful chance by an awesome individual that gave us a chance at this podcast. We running our own damn podcast now. Don't tell me that you have to have a degree as being an engineer to be an engineer. There she is over there. My wife is an engineer in this program. And I can't engineer on any podcast or anywhere to do the job that she's doing. I challenge them. Young people of color, stop telling people what you can't do and show us what you can.
That's right.
That's what you can.
That's right.
How many times do you think they told Crazy Ted that he could never make it in school? To drop out, to be the thug that we see you are, and now you got a PhD. I apologize. CC, get in there.
I just was going to say, don't ever believe that ordinary people can't do extraordinary things.
Come on,
they can.
Right. Don't let them tell us what we can't do. You looking at an actress. You looking at a doctor. You looking at an engineer. And you looking at an ex-dope fiend, crack addict, jailbird. Right now, being the leader of the group. Y'all get on your circle. Doc said, you show me 7 people and I'll show you your future. I changed my circle. I changed my future. I want to change. I made a change. Doc, comments on Gina's topic, please.
I just think that's just amazing. I mean, and some of what she was even talking about, I'm gonna tell you, my son Jeremiah, he loved when she did that Harriet Tubman. I'm gonna tell you, and you know what? And it was so wild because even with everything you had going on, I mean, you when you give something, man, you do it up. I was looking for a hot air balloon to come flying over the yard. You know what I'm saying? but for my son to tell me that where it was almost unlimited crabs and food, and you could just pick what you wanted, and my son my baby boy, he didn't know whether to go up the slide or to go run. He was trying to run straight from the slide to go into the game room, you know. But I'm only saying that to say is that for my son Jeremiah, you know, to tell me that was the highlight of that night. I mean,
Unbelievable.
I was in awe. I was amazed for I would say a 14-year-old young man, you know what I'm saying, to say that's the highlight, you know what I'm saying, of his night, to see and witness what she did. I think that's I mean, I'm still touched by that.
Could you do it?
I'm still moved by that. Could you do it? Because
Could
actually,
you do it?
because I took him down there to where the mural is, and we took a picture, but I took him also to the museum, and we went to really the plantation where she was at, but we walked on some of the land. And I said, son, can you imagine not knowing how to read or write? You can't stop and buy canned goods. You can't stop at no McDonald's. You can't stop at people's houses because they probably gonna turn you in. And all you got is knowing that you're looking at the stars. And all you know, and you know one other thing, I want to be free.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. You just know I want to be free.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. I just want to be free.
I just want to be free. You know what I'm saying? In fact, and I was talking to her great grandniece the other night because her niece and stuff actually just passed away. You know what I'm saying? Her mother. And she was actually her grandniece, and she was 94 years old. She just passed a couple of months ago. She had called me, you know what I'm saying? But to hear that, and then to talk to her last night, which encouraged me, and then for this to be one of the topics on today, I think I'm just in awe, you know. I mean, I think I'm in awe, you know what I'm saying, to hear that. And it is just really. Because I'll say, you know, because I'll tell you about some of my topic. I was a little bit, you know, down about it, and but to hear this has cheered me up, it's enlightened me, and it's just a message that we got to keep pushing.
You got to.
We have to keep going on. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell a pastor. I was like, sometimes we brag about what we can't take. Like, I wish somebody would. I'll bang them right in the mouth. Soon they say, you know what I'm saying? Because I said, but sometimes we need to show what we can take.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we can, you know what I'm saying, be able to, you know what? No, I'm not going to beat this person. I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to beat because I can take it. Because look at what Jesus took. Getting whipped, getting beat. You know what I'm saying? Look at what Harriet Tubman, you know, had to endure, and then she wouldn't go. Because I even told her niece I told her great niece last night. I said, "Look, I know I would have been one of them slaves that was going to try to get away. I'm going to run, and I said, I'm definitely going to run." I said, the thing is, when you talk about going back the second time, now I may go back. I'm gonna go back for my children. I'm gonna go back for my wife. And I said, but when you start talking about going back for other folk, I mean, I think all I can say is I had to pray for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because unless God told me to go back, I'm staying where I'm at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know that now you are a major target. You ain't even a regular slave now. You are officially the enemy of everybody who believes in that, and they got your picture up that people have drawn, and they want to catch you so that they can make an example of you. And knowing that I have escaped the devil's clutches, and I've got now my children out, and I've gone back to get my wife, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, to me, I'm feeling as a man, I owe a duty to them to try to stay free.
Right.
But this sister was like, nah, I'm going back as many times as I can go back. And that puts it in another whole category.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to be raunchy, but it's almost like when you see that you have more balls than most men you know.
You
Yeah,
better
yeah.
That's saying something. In fact, she was just the niece was telling me she really was a little disappointed in how they did the movie because she felt they should have started the movie much earlier than her just being married and getting hit with a rock. You know what I'm saying? She felt that it was much more to tell about her story and to hear the stories from her family. I'm in full support of her because she's trying to open up a Harriet Tubman Learning Center. They have one in Atlanta, but they're trying to get some in some other places, and so they're trying to raise some money. And I told her, whatever you need, I'm in full support of you and whatever we can do. So this one has really just encouraged me. And Sister Gina, you are my sister. I love you, and I thank God that we have just been connected. Everybody on here. Because sometimes, you know, you don't always run into good people that are on a mission, you know what I'm saying, you know, for change, for better, and, you know, and the betterment of our people. And so, you know, all of y'all on here, you know what I'm saying, I'm proud to know you guys.
Thank you, Doc. You know, I mean, as topics move, I want you to know sometimes you hit some topics and stuff that you just linger on.
Yeah.
This Harriet Tubman is a topic that you just can't get on it and jump off of it. I don't know how anybody with a conscience, especially a person of color, you know what I mean? How when you start talking about this individual, it can't just move you. You know, Doc says something when he gave it to you in layman's terms. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you, and I mean this. I'm committed to my family. I'm committed to my wife. But I love you, Doc, and I love you, Gina. I don't know if I'm coming back to get y'all too.
Come with us.
I mean, come with, hey, follow me. You know what I mean? I don't know about all that. I just own up to train. Yeah.
I'm going. I told y'all to come with me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And another thing is Doc saying, people get mad at me. Me a party sound like he bragging or something like that. Excuse me. If it sounds like I'm bragging on my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, it's because I am. When I talk some stuff, I ain't gonna keep telling everybody I'm broke. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to get up in the morning trying to figure out where I'm gonna get that $6 for that bag of dope so I'm not sick by 11 o'clock. I know what it's like to be broke. That's broke. I'm not gonna go off and say I'm broke now. I'm not. I ain't loaded, but I'm not broke. I'm not gonna go off and keep on claiming broke, claiming all this bad stuff. Oh man, I don't feel so bad. How you doing today? I'm all right, but my arm hurt now. Man, I just was saying how you doing. I don't really give a damn how your arm feel. People get up there, always something wrong all the time. My arm, my head, man. I'm just saying hello. I don't give a damn how your arm hurt. My arm hurt. My wife tore a rotator cuff. I'm not gonna be really worried about you. Stop always crying about everything that's wrong. Let's do this before we move on from this. Let's let Gina do her thing. I'm going to hit y'all out there in podcast land. I'm going to hit Gina with some questions, and I want y'all to hear the answer, and I want you to feel the answer. Gina Lee, how many trips did Harriet Tubman make to free slaves? How many?
13.
How many passengers did she lose?
None.
How many miles was she going at one time?
One way was 750 plus miles.
On
At a rough estimate, how long did it take her to walk with these people 750 miles?
7.5 months.
I want you to know now, everybody, here's a question that Gina wants to ask. And I want you to listen. She's going to ask you. Ask that question, Gina.
Could you do it?
One more time.
Could you?
Hell no. Hell no.
You gonna go get your gang. You gonna go get the rest of the MFGs, the rest of the Crips and Bloods. You gonna go get your black gorillas. You gonna go get everybody because you can't do it your damn self. Because you can't do it your damn self. We are awesome panel. Hey, Bryant, 750 miles. Yes. Over 7 months walking around. Ran in the cold.
13 times.
And then Sheena said that they had that.
And that's just one way. This got to go back.
And what you say, Doc, then she went back to get somebody else that she didn't even know. Hey, what that song say? You're on your own. I'm sorry. I couldn't have you once again. I'm done. That's biblical. My mama, I'm singing this one of your favorite songs. My mother sings a song. I do not own the rights to it. The shepherds went out and searched for his sheep. He searched all through the night. Snow was cold and it was deep. He searched till he found him. He looked and he found him. And I was that one lost sheep. The Lord went out to find the sheep. He lost 1,000 sheep. He found 9,999 sheep. He came back. They had a party for him. They gave him wine. Everybody was laughing and cheering and shaking his hand. And he got up. They thought he was going to let us say, where you going, God? He said, I'm going out. He said, if you got 999 of them, it's only one out there. But he went back one more time. My mother said he went back one more time. He looked till he found him. He searched till he found him. And I was that one lost sheep. West Baltimore, Josephine, jailbird, crack addict, sitting in the penitentiary with a attempt murder on him. God came back for party.
You better preach.
God came back to get party. He didn't come back to get Paul Laurence Dunbar. He didn't go back to get Malcolm X. He didn't go to get Martin Luther King. He didn't go to get Thurgood Marshall. He didn't go get Catherine. He came and got parties, West Baltimore, Josephine, jailbird, crack addict, in jail, attempt murder, facing 19 years ass, and put back and shook him and told him, go ahead, party. Now you're good.
Yes.
Now you're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if the lost sheep was you? What if it was you? Could you do it?
Sunday got
Could
there.
you do it?
Yes.
I said, come on, man. Could you do it?
Yes.
When you was running around with a shotgun tied to your waist, Dr. Ted, who in the hell thought you was going to end up with a PhD? Let me give you this drum roll, please. No damn body.
Look, I can make it worse than that. Not
Yeah.
even me.
Wow.
I had been told that so much that I didn't even. I would have thought that you were making a joke to me to say this, that I would be alive and free and living this life right now. I would think you were telling me a joke. In fact, I had a prophet that told me that you was going to be a preacher, and he said, and you're going to be going around the country. And I had a gun on me as he was praying for me.
Damn.
And I told him, you were talking about my brother. And he said, no, I'm talking about you.
Wow.
And I laughed. And he's passed on now, but I sometimes say, who is laughing now?
Wow.
I say he's up in heaven laughing, saying you didn't even see yourself, meaning I didn't even believe myself.
Nope.
That I could possibly do that.
I'm gonna give you a selfish statement out there, and this is for the haters out there. So I know God got to make haters. He make these other people. I met my wife, and one of the reasons why we had our first date is because she didn't have a ride. Gave my wife a ride. That was a smooth move. I pulled it work. Do whatever you want. She needed a ride in that snow, and I gave her that ride, Gina. Do whatever you want. It worked. But my wife used to be out there. My wife always worked for the state. She had good money, but she went and bought a truck. Tell me about your new truck. How long did it take before it got totaled? See,
1 day.
What?
One day, I bought a brand new car, and somebody hit it with a stolen car and totaled it before I even had it 24 hours.
Lord have mercy.
So people don't know another story. All we know is a few of Gina. A few of them used to be at the job at the end of the day when we get ready to get off, and they would be out front and they seeing who they're gonna catch a ride with. You know, if you just be out there, somebody gonna give you a ride. But Cece, my wife, was one of those that was out there getting a ride, and we didn't know that story. Until she's my wife, I never knew she was in a bad car accident. My wife was in a bad car. That's why she don't like driving. But she was in a bad car accident with a person in the car. Her best friend was in the car with her, and she was rendered unconscious. The car flipped over. Her father was in the front seat, died from the accident, and she was laying there as a teenager, getting in the jar of life with what she said, cutting out with chainsaws and stuff like that, and sparks flying. And you know, she said I was in there over 45 minutes, upside down, was getting cut out. That's traumatized. So I don't know. I'm saying why you ain't drinking. All we know is the side that we see. But I'm telling you, you want to talk about miracles and stuff like that. Everybody that laughed at my wife when she sat out there and needed a ride and stuff like that, now if it sounds like I'm showing off and bragging on my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I am. In front of this door, my wife has a Honda Odyssey, her first van that says Sansaray Taste. That's hers. She has a Range Rover in front of the door that says Sansaray Taste. That's hers. And now last week we bought a brand new 2022 and 2021 Honda SUV. Hands up, y'all. That's her. So she may have started standing in the lobby waiting to see if she could get a ride from somebody, but God damn it, they come borrow her shit now. They come borrow it now. You know what I mean? My car's acting up. Well, take one of mine. You feel me? That was a small thing. All I'm saying is the point that we're making is you want to make God laugh? Finish it, CC.
Tell them your plans.
Tell them your plans. You want to make God laugh? Tell them your plans. You don't have a clue what he's got going on. Everybody does not have to be Harriet Tubman, but there is a Harriet Tubman in everybody.
Come on,
yes. Yes.
Everybody does not have to be Harriet Tubman, but I want y'all to know out there, especially you people of color, you beautiful people, there's a Harriet Tubman in all of us.
Yes.
There's a Harriet Tubman in all of us. CC retired at 45 years old. She tore a rotator cuff, but she retired with full benefits, and she already had 20 years state service anyway. She had her time and her knowledge and everything. She had the years, but she retired from the state anyway. So whenever y'all run around talking about you tired and you leaving this job or you gonna do all this, wait till you turn around later on and you ain't got no benefits.
Come on now.
You don't get no Social Security. You don't got no check. Gina Lee, you think Gina running somewhere always out there because she gonna go off and work an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening as a crossing guard? Gina's a highly educated individual. Gina's retired from the state, and Gina's more afraid of being broke like me than she is of being dead. She's gonna see that she got some kind of income, some couple of dollars everywhere. Because when we decide to go out to eat, where Gina like to go, CC?
She like to go to Pop, and she fancy, y'all.
Fancy, huh? Yeah. Not no more though. Every time Gina want to take you out to eat, she want to take you to Papa's. It's different people turn to pay. Gina take us out to Papa's, $140, $150, then tip. Gina, we on our way to Applebee's. I'm telling you that because the next time to buy is me. What's that, Gina?
A new paparazzi box.
Hey y'all, let's move right along, boy.
When they say multiple streams of income,
Tell them, Gina, you better have it. You better have it.
You better have it.
This ain't no darn game. Ask me.
I ain't gonna just sit back and say, "Oh, my Social Security be here in another 15 days."
again, Jaina.
No.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do it. Hey, CC, y'all know this is an informative program. We over here having too much fun. What's your topic today, C?
Look, that was so inspirational and uplifted. I don't even want to tell y'all my topic, but I got.
Yeah, you right. Hey, no, hold it. That's right. No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Look,
Wait a minute.
we done had church up in here and everything. Now I gotta bring y'all back down to the reality, though.
CC, by the time CC finished, everybody be dead. Don't forget Colin Powell died. Get the shot. They killed 10 people on North Pulaski. And then she said, how's everybody doing today? I'm ready to kill myself.
They got me feeling like the Grim Reaper up in here now. Y'all crazy. But you know I gotta do it. I gotta do it. It gotta be done. If somebody gotta do it, it might as well be me. So it gotta be done. So here we go. My topic is a NASA employee found guilty of killing his neighbor.
Lord have mercy. Here we go. ACC.
You know what?
Lord have mercy.
That's all right, Maurice. Watch what you say, because you're going to want me to cook you dinner or something. As soon as you watch your mouth now.
Doc, we went from hallelujah to somebody just killed his wife and kid. The Menendez brothers is set free, and Charles Manson just got pardoned. Hello, CC. How are you?
Oh, Lord.
All right, y'all leave my wife alone. Let's get some information. Go ahead, C.
So, a NASA employee, the gentleman, we're going to use that word very loosely because he's no gentleman. His name is Michael Heddle. Let's get it right. Call the cowards out. Hetle is his name. And he was convicted of killing his next door neighbor, who was a mixed race gentleman by the name of Javon Prather. He was 24 years old. Mr. Heddle, the murderer, was 54, and this was in Fairfax County in Virginia. He was found guilty of the murder charge and using the firearm in commission of a felony. Now, these two guys were next door neighbors. They had an ongoing feud because the gentleman, Mr. Heddle, had called the homeowners association. He had called the police on this young man several times over the course of 3 years, complaining about things like dog poop in the yard, the music too loud, they drinking. He told the homeowners association that they were basically bringing the neighborhood down and that they were going to bring more crime into the neighborhood with their behavior. So on the day of the incident, Mr. Heddle claims he acted in self-defense. He said he thought that Mr. Prather was armed at the time of the shooting and that he had repeatedly threatened him. Now, his own son said that he had referred to his neighbor on several occasions using the N-word, and the incident was actually caught on camera by his own Ring doorbell. The young man went over to his house and knocked on the door. The video shows that he knocked on the door and he just backed up, rung the bell, and in court, Mr. Heddle tried to say that he banged on his door so viciously until he knocked the door ajar, but the video, without a doubt, proved that that was not true. He had both hands were free, and he could see that there was nothing in his hand. He said that he thought that he had a small gun in his pocket. So he opened the door, and no conversation was had. He just opened the door and shot him in the stomach. So when he shot him in the stomach, the young man tried to run. He tripped down the steps. He was shot in the back 3 more times. And as he lay on the ground bleeding out, this man is at the top of the steps. He's at the bottom. He shot him again as he lay prone in his driveway. His wife, who was next door, watching in horror, I'm sure, went over to help her husband, and he aimed a gun at her and said, "You wanted to? You wanted to? Get away." As she was just trying to drag her dying husband onto their own property so that she could render aid or get him some help. During his testimony in court, the coward, let's just call him the coward. Let's just stop using Jeff.
Good name.
The coward said he had a look of pure rage in his eyes. His eyes were wide and bloodshot. And he had also, on the same day, sent an email to the neighborhood association warning them that this feud could result in tragedy. So he testified that he grew concerned the afternoon of the shooting because the young man and his wife pulled up in their car, in their driveway, and they were drinking and listening to loud music. So he claimed that this was not racially motivated, but like I said, his own son said that whenever he referred to this young man, he used the N-word. He claimed that he saw something in his hand, and of course, the man was unarmed after the investigation took place. So he was found guilty, and not to mention the young man that he killed was a member of the Maryland National Guard.
Oh my goodness.
So he was found guilty, and he's supposed to be sentenced in January. So these people, and this story just really caught my eye because it just was so brazen. I watched the video. I'm going to have to work on seeing if I can find out how I can share the screen and share some of these videos with you guys. Because, it was just, he just walked up, rung the bell. The man opened the door, didn't say what you want, Doug, cat, nothing. Just opened the door and just started shooting. Point blank range, blasting him. Even after he tried to run, shot him in the back, shot him as he was already shot 6 times, laying there on the ground, just shot him down like a dog. And then when his wife came over there, and the thing that made it just so terrifying, really, was when his wife came to help him, he said, "You want it too? You want it? Get out of here. Get out of here." Y'all, this is a crazy world that we living in. This is a crazy world and just the fact that he even thought that he could go and claim that this was self-defense is just mind-boggling. And these people, but just like we always say, these are not the days of old. Somebody's always watching. It's a camera everywhere. And I just thank God for this young man's family, that this coward's own camera is what's going to do him in. His own Ring doorbell camera is what's going to do him in, because it clearly showed that everything that he said in court was a lie. And everybody, anytime your own child, one thing I always tell anybody, that prejudice is a learned behavior. People are not born prejudiced. You can put a black baby and a white baby in the crib, and they don't know one is black and the other's white. They just 2 babies playing. So this is a learned behavior. And the fact that your own child, your own son, I don't know how old the son was, but the son testified and told him that his father called this man the N-word all the time, that was how he referred to him, the N next door. So, this is, I commend that young man for standing up and doing the right thing, even when it was not the comfortable thing. I'm sure that had to cause some turmoil in within the family. But it's just a good thing that some people know that no matter what they have been told, what they have been taught, that some things are right and some things are wrong. And he refused to support his father in this lie and told the truth. But people, it's just some crazy people in this world. And I just wanted to bring, and another reason that I wanted to bring this particular story up is to say to people that be careful confronting people. You know what I'm saying? Be careful about, trying to have these confrontations and have the last word and all of this kind. And I'm not saying that that was the case, but this young man, this had been an ongoing feud between these two neighbors for 3 years. And for whatever reason, he went over there to knock on the man's door to say whatever it was that he wanted to say or whatever. But be careful about those kind of confrontations because they can go so wrong so quickly.
Let me first, CC, thank you. And y'all know we have all kind of topics before Doc gets in here. Let me say this, how I learned from things, and I pray that somebody else does too. We won't talk about the person, but I had a difference of opinion with someone, you know what I mean? And my first reaction, Doc, is always the same, self-preservation. So my wife knows just because of a small difference of opinion, it would never be more than that. What's the first thing when you come through my door? What's sitting right there?
Shotgun.
My sawed-off shotgun. From the moment I have a difference of opinion with anybody, Doc, I don't know anything else but to resort to what I do. At my door, right there, closest so I can get to this thing and do what I gotta do, is sawed-off shotgun. That's my household weapon of choice. I don't run around banging my 9 at people around the house. When I start cutting loose, I'm cutting loose with that sawed-off shotgun. You feel me? That's how we do. But see just how you don't give yourself time to think. Now I just never thought about that. How that ignorant, wonderful person, that bigot, he opened the door by it already being right there. That was his first anger management. You feel me? That's he had. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do when I go upstairs though, because it's been there. This been over a long time, but I always leave it there. I'm gonna put it away. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna put it away. My wife can't stand them anyway. Well, whether she can stand them or not, that's what it's for. Protect my house. I aim to protect my house. But I want to say this before Doc comments. You know, as Doc always say, hypothetically. You know, I learned that from you, Doc. You know what I mean? Because I got a habit of volunteering stuff. My wife tell me when I get off the air, you volunteer some stuff. So I need to work on that. But hypothetically, you know what I mean? When you shoot a person, Doc, you feel a sense of fear. Because you start, no matter how mad you are, whatever, the first thing come to your mind, Doc, is how I'm going to get away with this. What do I need to do next? Where do I hide this? Where do I go? Is it 2 more witnesses? Do they get it too? Or they not going to tell? Your mind goes through all this. But this goes back to that wonderful individual, Mr. Trump. Because some things about him, I don't care if you like him or not, call him by his whole name, Mr. Trump. That man had an agenda, and you can think whatever you want. It worked. He made these people so entitled, they do shit that nobody would have ever thought that you would do. These wonderful people have gotten so entitled because of this man and his presidency, but his presidency. Also, he has got so many people so entitled to go off and do heinous crimes and think that you can tell a white lie. They don't even get rid of the Ring doorbell or have a meeting or try to really fake it or nothing. They just think I'm so entitled. I stormed the Capitol and you told me to do it, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram with my feet up on the desk and taking pictures and stuff. They have gotten so entitled because of this man. Y'all out there, people of color. I mean, you got to watch us too. You probably no, I'm wrong. You got to watch us more than you got to watch them. So I'm wrong about that. Before you worry about the wonderful people, worry about the beautiful people.
You walking down North Pulaski, you walking down Emerson Avenue. Watch yourself, y'all out there, because it just ain't safe. But them people have gotten so entitled, y'all. Gina, Cece, and Doc, they are so entitled. His son was sick of it. His son was probably sick of his father. Keep calling him the end. His son might play sports, Doc, or Gina. Gina, no. She went to college and all this kind of stuff with all your friends in college ain't black.
Yeah.
White, Mexican, Christian, Jew, Gentile, that ain't how it is. That's a motivational speaker. But everybody that he go to speak with ain't black. Everybody in Million Man March ain't black. They showed y'all that if y'all really watch Malcolm X. Over there, Muslims are 50% white. All the Muslims ain't black people running around with a fist high on black power. And the Jew March is not like that. These people, though, have gotten so entitled that he went over there, opened the door, shot him a few more times, hit him one last time, talked stuff to his wife, Doc, Gina, Cece. He ain't get in the car and run to Mexico. He ain't flee or nothing. He just figured he could get away with it.
Absolutely.
I'll bring you with this last thing before we go to you, Doc. Another thing to piggyback on that. Me and Cece have been watching the is it Gabby? The boyfriend that killed Gabby. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
You know what he told him? He came back and they want to know where you been at? Or something like that. He said, yeah, I was with her, but she ain't with me now. Get out of my house.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, that's what he said. I don't want to talk about it. You ever watch TV on Law and Order? What they already tell them? They be in the police station. He said, yeah, I got you. I'm going to charge you with murder. He said, I'm sick of you. I ain't did nothing. I'm going home. And he stand up. Ted, in Western District, they'd have jumped on us.
You know it.
As soon as you said something dumb like, I'm going home. Take this with you. Take that.
Right.
Why you going? Take this. They get up and start walking to the door. They may or might not get stopped. We don't have enough charges. We need more information. We need man. They just locked me up, kept me locked up until they found some more stuff on me. Doc, get in there, please.
It's so unfortunate that they don't feel that people of color deserve the rights that are owed to us. They don't feel that, meaning that when I look at, when I've talked to people, white people who have gotten pulled over, their experience was they talk about like they angry. They like, I couldn't believe he had me sitting there for 15 minutes. I couldn't believe. I told him I'm not giving them no information. And when I talked to some of the young brothers that got pulled over, they were just so happy they didn't get beat.
Right.
They were just so happy that they did not go to jail and they had not done nothing. And so the experience is totally different where you got one that feels so entitled that even if I ran a stop sign, why did you pull me over? And then on the other side, you got some brothers, they ain't run no stop sign. They wasn't speeding. They got pulled over, but there's a level of the history. They have been so concerned that I'm not going to even make it home. So I'm not focusing on filing a report against them. I'm celebrating I ain't died.
And guess what else, Doc? One thing that I failed to mention is that the coward was a former Washington State police officer.
Wow. Figures.
He was disciplined after an Ethiopian immigrant accused him of bias during a traffic stop. And he's also killed 2 people in the line of duty. Both of them were minorities. One of them was an unarmed Latino man. And he was, of course, cleared. They said that they were justified shootings. But the Latino's man's family filed a lawsuit and the state settled for $75,000. So, the man's wife said had they known his history, they would have stayed clear of him.
Yeah, the officer. There's an officer that actually he actually took the life of a young man that I mentored, a young man I took out of a homeless shelter, and I actually helped raise him, and he actually took his life. He was the young man that they pulled up and they started shooting at him, and he had a BB gun actually, but his cousin had just gotten shot. And his family was in there calling the police, and he was standing out there hoping that if the people did come back, that they would see him holding a gun, and and it was a BB gun, and they would run off. But this officer, before the car stopped, he jumped out the car and started shooting him in the back without identifying himself to be an officer or saying put the gun down. And this is right when the pandemic had started. And I'm only sharing that because he had already killed 4 people. He had already killed 4. The same officer I'm talking about had already killed 4 people. And then actually he killed a father and a son together. This same officer killed a father and a son together, and so, I'm only sharing that because, this is something that I don't want to get used to it. I don't want my children to get numb to this is just how we treat it. This is how we just got to do. No, we have to keep on putting them out there. I love when you say their names. I love when you say their names. I will even put on there the second, the third, junior, put in the middle initial, everything. I love when you say their names because the only weapon we have had has been to shame them.
Yeah.
Because we want to make it so you can't go to the grocery store. I don't want you to be able to walk into Walmart. I don't want you to be able to go into 7-Eleven. I don't want you to be able to go in Royal Farm store to get your gas without you feeling ashamed.
That's right.
I want people to say, "Are you that man?
Absolutely.
Are you that man?" That's why I loved it when they had the guy that was calling the people the N-word and everything else. And he was like, and you know what? And the police know me and I can do what I want to. And he was like, and if you want, you can come to my house. And I loved when all of those hundreds of black folk.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I wish I knew when it was going down because I would have caught a plane and I would have been on his porch myself.
Yeah.
I would have asked, could I have the pleasure of being the one to knock on his door?
Since we invited.
Right. You asked me to come up. You want all the smoke. Well, I'm the burning house coming to your door then. You want all of the smoke. I'm bringing it too. I'm the big bad wolf. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, before Gina gets in there, good point, Doc. I love your energy. Before Gina gets in there, I do want to say this. I want y'all to know, we laugh and joke and we tease CC, you know what I mean, about to be in the bearer of bad news, to change the topics and the formats and stuff like that. But y'all, that's what this program, this podcast is about. Information is power. Information is power. You need to learn everything. You need to learn the good and the bad. You need to learn up and down. You need to learn black and white. You need to learn rich and poor, trees and the sky. You need to learn them all. You need to get something from these things. You need to know that. We want to talk about Harriet Tubman. We want to learn all our great history, the wonderful things that we've done, our achievements through the days. But we also need to know and learn we got a long damn way to go.
Yes.
We got a long way to go. What Eddie Murphy say? Anything use free now. Just pick the cotton. Use free now. Use no longer a slave, but still pick the cotton. We got a long way to go, y'all.
And Brian
learn from these podcasts.
I think Brian Samuels is talking to you, Doc. He said, what do we do to solve the problem of high crimes in our neighborhood? Doc frozen and sideways right now.
Doc frozen and sideways. I see people frozen and I see people sideways. But that's what I like about when you a doctor. They not only freeze you, they freeze you sideways.
Oh, here we go. Am I better?
There you go.
Okay, yeah. It's funny because you know what? It wasn't even that. Somebody kept calling my phone. And it was kind of knocking me out of the session so I could hear you. But I was trying to press something to get rid of it. But you know what? I say that's a loaded question, but to me, there is an answer to it. And you know what? Because I really feel, because I think a lot of people just feel, oh, well, this is just how it's going to be to the end of time. Well, I don't really feel it's going to have to be that. It's just going to be hard because, see, this has been years of us getting to where we are. And it's going to take some work of years of getting us out of this, and so I really feel, kind of like that. And so, if we could actually get the people who we know will do something, and let's start getting together and start planning, and because we're going to need we're going to need jobs, we're going to need mentoring, and different things, because we can't just have the mentoring without being able to fix their financial situation. And then also, we have to also have some people with police in our own communities along with the police. We have to have something that is extra, added to it. So I think it's a plan, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we could really, talk about it, because unfortunately, most of the programs that we have actually are designed to go after the children that don't have the most severe situations. And that's where we really have a problem. They want to deal with the easy kids. They want to deal with the ones that he throwing paper in class. I'm like, no, I want to get to the one that's carrying that 357. I want to get to the one that, that can't go to school because he got to work that block to get money in the house. You know what I'm saying? And so, because we can't take something away from them until we are prepared to put something in place of that. Mm-hmm. And so, and you know what, everybody want to fix, but the only ones that want to do something is they want to throw money at it, so at the problem. We can't just throw money at this problem. A lot of the gangs have become families for these children that have had families turn their backs on them, or have had them put them out the house, or got a mother that is so high she don't know you in the house, or got a father that's got life. And, so they've been searching for something to fill those voids. So, if we could pull together some good people and start somewhere, I would tell everybody you can start somewhere, even for the person that just is the soccer mom. And I'm like, well, when you are taking those other kids home with your daughter, start giving them a positive message every time they get in your van, And so you can stop somewhere. Just start somewhere. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm only one person. I can't do nothing." I'm like, no, we have to really, work together with that.
And another thing that I just wanted to jump in and say really quickly, Doc, on that subject is that people don't realize, one of the many things that I love about my husband and you, Doc, is that y'all not ashamed of your story and you haven't forgotten where you come from. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of these things are functions of poverty. You know what I'm saying? They want to know, like, why they out here selling drugs and they protective over their territory. To some of these young men and young women too, it's the difference between whether they have a meal or a warm place to sleep tonight. So it's not really a choice because they haven't been presented with other options. Because if you have to make a choice between whether you're going to sleep in the alley or whether you're going to rob, dock, and party when they walking down the street, they're going to choose B. But you just like building on what you were saying, we have to present them with some other options. We can't wonder why all of this crime is going on when you walk through the city and it's an abandoned house on every corner. You know what I'm saying? It's more abandoned houses than there are jobs for youth. So we have to be the vehicle to say to these young people that this is an alternative. This is what I can offer you in place of this. I was just looking at a story this morning on the news where they were talking about how daycare workers make less money than a server at Apple. You know what I'm saying? So it's just some real unbalanced and there's some real inequalities here and I'm not saying that that's an excuse for us to kill our own people or for violence or anything, but we have to look and dig deeper than what we see on the surface. I refuse to believe that these people just wake up every morning and decide they're going to go outside and kill each other. You know, we have to find out find the root of the problem before we can find the solution.
And excuse me, before Gina gives her comment, I want to say something as I'm thinking of Brian. Brian Samuels is like I say, he's a grown man now, but when I grew up, he was my best friend. Lil John is his big brother, and Brian is a worldly guy. He has numerous businesses. You know, Brian has companies and stuff that he's a pioneer with the underground cameras looking into sewer systems and stuff that we work with. You know, he was a big shot over there at Water and Parks, and he still has prominent companies and stuff. But Brian, at his brother's funeral, had a small comment that he made that I'll never forget. He said that his big brother, Lil John is Trey's father, his brother. So he said that my brother gave me a pair of tennis, Doc. Now, he spent a lot of money on these tennis. Lil John played tennis, literal tennis. Like, you know, golf and tennis, He played tennis. He gave him, we'll call them sneakers. He gave him a pair of sneakers, and they were a very expensive pair. We call them Andre Agassi tennis. And Brian didn't know what they were. They probably didn't say Nike on them. They didn't say Puma. They didn't say Michael Jordan. It cost 3 times more than any pair of tennis he ever had in his closet. And Brian could dress, but Brian said, I accepted them because my brother gave it to him. And he said he held on to him. He didn't know. Then later on, Brian said he found out just how good and how expensive these tennis were. Well, Brian don't know. I was there with Lil John when he bought them. I was there when he bought them for Brian. I said, man, Brian don't know what he are. Man, he's good. And this, that, man, look at that. And they breathe. And here's how you can do that. Because Lil John played tennis. He thought he was buying them. I said all this to say, Brian later on at his brother's funeral remembered that pair of tennis. He remembered that somebody gave him something different, something that was more knowledgeable, something that you didn't know about. You feel me? So he learned from that. He didn't learn right then, Doc and Gina, when he got the tennis, because he didn't know what they were. He didn't care. My brother got good money. Why is he giving me these damn tennis? Why don't they say Michael Jordan? But his brother had good money, used to nice things, and he knew what they were. You feel me? So, Brian, just the idea, piggybacking on what Doc said, I'm giving you the long, drawn out version. Just the idea that you remembered years later that somebody tried to teach you something a while back. Even if you didn't implement it and learn from it right then, you learned. You learned what kind of tennis they were. You learned that Andre Agassi's cost more than Pumas. You learned. That's what Doc's saying. You don't have to learn right then, but you need to learn. That's part of our legacy right now is we're not learning. If Gina tells you 20 times that Harriet Tubman needs to be revered, the work that she's done, we need to honor this person. Even if it takes you 20 years later to know this, to comment on it, to go to see the Harriet Tubman Award, to watch Doc when he's giving it out, to see Jenna when she's doing that. People out there, learn something when you can. It does not have to hit you right now. It does not have to hit you right now. But if you, what they used to tell us, Gina, when we was in school, put your thinking cap on. That's what they used to tell us in James Moses. We get ready to have a test. The test is going to be in 10 minutes. I need everybody to get prepared. Put your thinking cap on. Stop talking. Put your thinking cap on. Y'all, we have to start waking up, as Doc's saying, the answer to my opinion, the answer to your question, Brian, and that was an awesome question. Thanks for asking it.
Yes.
We need to start now. Look how long ago Gina, Doc, and Cece, they had the Afro clean block. Our parents was trying to tell us to care about the neighborhood then.
Yes.
They had
Yes.
Afro clean block. They cut the tire and painted and put the flowers in. They told you to care about your neighborhood. They CC
right.
and them was cleaning the steps off. They told you to care about your neighborhood. We just weren't listening. We just weren't listening. Now your neighborhood is torn up and abandoned houses. Does anybody know that 6 out of 10 of those houses that you see that are abandoned and those rundown houses were owned by somebody? Your grandmother left it to a daughter who left it to a son who lost a damn house. It wasn't always a crappy piece of house. It grew up as a prominent house in the neighborhood.
Right.
And they passed it down the line and somebody lost it for taxes. Gina, get in there, please. Any comment?
Ooh, oh man. Well, first I want to say Doc is exactly right that we need to. It's going to take a long, not necessarily a lifetime, but it may take a decade.
Yeah.
It may take a decade, or should I say, a generation, till we see real change, and that's only if we impart what we know onto the generation that's coming up. And that's exactly what Doc is talking about, that we need to take the reins of the following generation, because part of this generation, and this is just my opinion, part of this generation we've lost. And that's just the simple truth, in my opinion. We need to take the reins of the generation that is coming up behind them. Like the Jeremiahs and the people in that age group. You know what I'm saying? That are ready to say, okay, ready to say, I'm going to step up.
Right.
And show the people behind me how to live correctly, or how to show the generation behind me how to embrace life. Okay. When Cece was telling the story about the man shooting the man in his walkway, the only thing that I kept thinking about is yesterday they were picking the jury for the Ahmaud Arbery case. That just kept going through my mind. And I have watched over and over, I've watched footage of his mother talk about how she had to fight just to get the information as to who killed her son. It took her months just to get the information who killed her son. They tried to, and I think we had a show about this where I told y'all that the person, the man, the father, because it's a father and son, the father used to work in the district attorney's office. He was a former police officer, and when he retired from policing, he worked in the state's attorney's office. So when the case came before the state's attorney, of course, she had a relationship with the father, and she was trying to put off releasing this information to Ahmaud Arbery's mother. It took months because the state's attorney found herself in a compromising position, and people were saying, well, why can't you release the information? And then that's when it came out that he used to work in her office. So she reclused herself and assigned the case to another state's attorney. And that state's attorney, come to find out, she and he were like best friends. So he was going to take that state's attorney's position on this case and figured that the father was not guilty, that he was just protecting his community. And then they found out also that the new state's attorney, his son, and the father who killed Ahmaud Arbery, his son, who actually did the shooting, they were best friends. So it, like I said, it took months just for this mother to get information about who killed her son. So yesterday they started the picking of the jury. Let's keep that family in prayer. Number one, because this is going to be traumatic. And let's just pray that they make the right decision. Because otherwise, it's going to be hell to pay. You can say
They're gonna burn this town down.
You think they turned this country upside down for George Floyd?
Yeah. Panel, I don't mean to cut you, Gina. We'll go out with that. That's our last topic. We want to finish with that. Great segue in, Gina.
Well, you know what,
Doc, your comments on that topic.
Well, actually, I just want, because actually I have to actually get ready to just share the two topics real quick. I didn't want to expand on it, but I wanted to just share the people that I have been working with and doing good work with down in Huntsville, Alabama. On Saturday, these people broke in their family's church and totally destroyed and vandalized this historical church. And I mean, destroying it, just about. And so they're investigating and everything. And so that's what kind of had me a little hot, and that's what I was really talking to Harriet Tubman's great grandniece about the other day, saying. But on a lighter note, I had the opportunity to go to the ribbon cutting of Tawanda's Recreational Center that was just reopened, and they have a new STEM center in there. They totally reinvented. On Park Heights, right? The one off of Park Heights, little Twan. And I remember causing trouble down there. And so for me to come there now as Dr. Sutton, and I was talking to the mayor and city council president, about, that and the whole nine. I mean, I just thought that, and they had these little children come in from the school next door, the little blue school, that they got right there. They had them come in and sing and something. And so it was something that was really, positive. So I wanted to just share those two things.
Yeah, we saw it on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Then. Yeah. That was really something. Really something.
Tell them you there to create good trouble now. So 360. That's all right.
Exactly.
And people out there, so that remember, myself and Cece own Party Marty's Moon Bouncers, and we give back to our community. When you have these events and stuff like that, and you need something for the kids out there, we'll throw a moon bounce out. You know what I mean? Remember, this is our job. We do it for a living. Right. So if it's a paid event or stuff like that, please, see us to pay us. But if it's not, we'll donate it. We'll donate it. We'll donate it. We trying to do everything good. We saw what Doc and it was doing. We'll donate something out there, because if it is to be, let it start with me. You know what I mean, Doc? That's really good. Actually, great job on continuously to do good work. Cece and I saw that. I texted you to say that I was trying to share it, but it wasn't sharing.
Oh,
I wouldn't share. That's why I always had everybody say, Gina posts all kind of wonderful stuff, but you can't share it.
Yeah.
We tell her all the time, Gina, make it share.
I don't know why
I'm trying to share.
I don't know. I gotta see what setting. I gotta see what setting it's on, because I don't mind it being shared.
It just says send. It says send. It's not shareable. It just says
wow.
send.
I don't know why. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check that out. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, y'all, the two of y'all post some stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is just knowledge. You know what I mean, Gina? That's a good topic to jump on. And I want to, before we go off, y'all, please, everybody in podcast land, bear with us, and panel, please bear with me. But let's talk a little bit about that Arbery thing too. Doc, I want you to conclude it. CC, get in there, because you was watching that.
in the bed, golly, the Western wasn't on. You looked at that thing for an hour. So what did you get?
Yeah, I also saw his mother on Gail and them show the other day. Gail did an interview with her, and she just like Doc said, I think that the most disturbing thing about us hearing these cases over and over again is that they trying to trick us into believing that this is normal, that we should accept this, that we should accept these young Black men and women being gunned down in the street like animals. It happens so much now until it's just like, here go another one.
The
But
norm.
right. And they trying to normalize something that is absolutely by no stretch of the imagination normal.
Normal.
It's not normal, and we shouldn't accept it. And I often bring, everybody, like, I bring these kind of stories up because I don't want us to be desensitized to this. I want us to be outraged with every Ahmaud Arbery, with every George Floyd, with every Tamir Rice. I want us to be outraged each and every time because it's outrageous behavior. And just like the story that I was just telling y'all about with that officer, these are not random isolated incidents. These are people with a pattern of behavior that they continuously keep doing these stuff, and it's always a common theme that they have had some kind of. A lot of these people are law enforcement, just like with Travis Michaels and them in the Ahmaud Arbery case. They're law enforcement or ex-law enforcement, and they have become so brazen with their behavior until they like, who gonna stop me? Who gonna check me? What y'all gonna say? You know what I'm saying? And this is just, and I know that we also have the problem with crime in our own communities, and people will step back and say, well, y'all killing each other, so why wouldn't you think apples and oranges don't have nothing to do with it? We got our own problems in our own communities, but still, we all have a God-given right to life, and they just, it's just getting to the point where they are treating our young people like their lives aren't even worth the paper, the ink on the birth certificate, and they want us to believe that we should accept this, so I'm just, this whole thing with Ahmaud Arbery, we got excuse me for 1 second. Brenda Bailey said your page, Dr. Gina, setting is private, not public. You can copy and paste it to share that way. Okay. So
Okay.
that solves the mystery. Thank you, BB. But but I watched that interview, and number one, as a human being, but number two, as a mother, I just saw the pain in his mother's eyes because everybody is not good. I'm not blind enough to say that all our young people are innocent. They're all good. You know what I'm saying? Because it's good and bad in every race, every culture, but the circumstances surrounding that Ahmaud Arbery case were very disturbing because he did absolutely nothing wrong. He wasn't in a confrontation with anybody. He didn't get gunned down by the police because they said he wouldn't comply. I mean, he was just out for a job. You know what I'm saying? And these men, they were protecting the neighborhood, even the person whose home that was being built that he was in didn't even have any problem with. He never stole anything. He never vandalized anything. He just looked and he just left. And for them to say that they thought he was a burglar, they come up with all of these random outlandish excuses. And at the end of the day, it just, when it's all said and done, it just boils down to the wonderful people didn't want the beautiful people around, and they did, and they, that was vigilante justice. And had the shoe been on the other foot, there would be no question. They would throw him underneath the jail. And I just hope and I just pray that they get exactly what they deserve.
Well, that's just like I wanted to say this. That's just like with the abortion law, where they've given the citizens the ability to collect a bounty,
$10,000
on turning somebody in for going, even if you think they're going to get an abortion. $10,000, that's a bounty.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's so many, ways, Gina. And Doc, a lot of these laws and stuff that they coming up with, they just modern day slavery. That reminds me of the bounty that they was putting out on Harriet Tubman and them. If you can, you know what I'm saying? It's just a modern day version.
You know, some of this.
Modern day slavery. The prison system is modern day slavery.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you something else too. You know, Doc just had to get up to step away to do what he's doing. Sound like Killer was over there doing his thing.
I know. I had to look under the table and see if that was down there or what. But she in her normal place, perched up on the couch.
Let me tell y'all something. This is how, for lack of words, I'm thinking about. This is how we've gotten so used to be docile about situations. Dina came up with a good point just then. Do y'all realize we going back to OJ times? We going back to George Floyd times. Do you know if they found this guy right here not guilty, they're gonna burn the whole damn world down again? I mean, we are sick of it. You know, the first thing that I think in my mind, oh man, I sure hope that don't happen because of this, and that's not right, and I'm tired, I'm tearing the city up, man. Sometimes you gotta get to the point.
But you gotta get
to the point where you say, damn, and whatever they got to do it. I'm sick of it too.
But that's the only time they pay attention. That's the only time they pay attention. When it's life lost, nobody gives a damn. But if you burn down Macy's, everybody's watching.
Gina, what Larry Wall saying? Beat them bad enough, they'll leave you alone. I asked you to leave me alone. I told you to leave me alone. You did everything you could. I just said, leave me alone. Leave me alone. You didn't want to hear that. Soon's blood on your shirt. You know what I mean? Your mouth all swelled up. All of a sudden, you leave me alone. How come I had to do that for you to leave me alone? I'll say this now, the Doc is back. People have gotten so entitled, wonderful people, and I put a lot of this on ex-President Bush. I wasn't going to call him Bush, but you know, Trump was the beginning of the Bush era. Bush was the beginning of it. All Trump did was exercise it more. He came out and said it. Some of the things Bush wanted to say, but he didn't say. Trump just said it. But anyway, that's why I just say they have gotten so entitled. When Doc and I was out there in them streets, robbing, pillaging, and plundering, banging guns and all that kind of stuff, we may have been tough in our circle. We may have been tough right then when we was mad. We may have been tough when the situation needed it. But when we all went home, we felt bad about it. I felt bad that I had to hit you with that bat, hypothetically. You know what I mean? I felt bad that I had to shoot you, hypothetically. You know what I mean? But now these people, man, they don't even have a conscience. Doc said the man has been in 4 shootings and shot somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
When you shoot a person, you are nervous. I've shot someone. You get nervous. You're mad when it happened. But right after it's over, you think about what you've done. These people are so entitled and so privileged, they don't care. Gina said something that's so sad and it's so true now. And what she always say when she sell her jewelry, bump it up. We had a point there, bump it up. Whatever we got to do to make sure that we show y'all that we sick of this, what it is. I pray that this man get found guilty and we don't tear our city up. But if they got to tear the city up to show these people, I'm tired of you choking me to death about selling cigarettes. I'm tired of you putting your knee on my neck for 8.5 to 9 minutes till I'm dead. I'm tired of you putting a bounty out on me. I'm tired of you shooting me because I opened up my window and you smelled marijuana. I'm tired of you talking about I was speeding and I wasn't speeding, and now you busted my head. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Somewhere along the line, we're sick of this shit.
Right? Enough gotta be enough.
Go ahead, see. Yeah, we had enough.
Saying enough gotta be enough sometimes, you know. And I, by no way, shape, or form do I want anybody to think that we on this show promoting violence or anything like that. But it's so funny, just like I said, that, you know, when we talk and we try to do things the reasonable way, nobody want to hear it. But soon as you light a match to Macy's, soon as you burn down Hat Company, soon as you bust out the window of Best Buy and run out with a TV, then everybody like, ho, what we got to do to stop this? We told you. You know what I'm saying? We already told you.
Yeah.
Hey,
y'all, we gonna let
we are taught to demoralize ourselves in our community, so other communities teach us like they see us teach ourselves.
Good point, Brian. Hey, y'all, we're gonna let Doc bring us home on this. We're gonna get black persons that are out there, people of color, people without color. We have a doctor in our midst, and he's gonna bring us home for the last comment on this topic. And I strongly urge you. I strongly urge you to listen to this free therapy you're going to get. Because he's going to give you some knowledge. This ain't just simply us giving you some knowledge. This is Dr. Ted Sutton giving you his opinion on something that he does for a living. This is what he does. He's a motivational speaker, and he's going to close out with this here, and I would like for y'all to listen. We're all listening, Doc. You have the floor.
All right. Now, first, I just enjoyed, you know, and was informed by everybody on the panel today. I'll actually be speaking in Dallas on something that's called the bullet or the ballot. And it's really, you know, but one thing that I wanted to really say, a person shouldn't get offended. When I say I'm proud to be black, it doesn't mean being anti-white.
Right.
What it means is that I am sharing that I'm proud to be who I am.
Yeah.
And the reason that we have to state it and so that other people can hear it is because we have been taken and removed out of history to be the great people that we are. You know, and so now trying to just start our history from really the foundation of just slavery, which is not our history.
Exactly.
That was the time when we were POWs, where we were prisoners of war. So, and removing our history and our God and our technology and separating us from our families. And you could not tell me there's not one other race that had that level done to them that would be prospering to the magnitude, you know what I'm saying, that they are. We are actually, so we are not, we didn't start at the starting line at the same time, but you expect for us to end up at the finish line at the same time. And it don't work like that. And so, you know, the thing is that, you know, we have to keep on pushing and keep on letting the, you know, our communities, and just like what we're doing now, you know, to keep on teaching and keep on pushing. Got to keep on.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Party Marty. Oh, I see you froze there.
Oh, is he frozen? I was like, he's sitting right there.
I thought he was just sitting still at first.
He real still.
Not only is he frozen, he's not even in that spot anymore. I don't know how that's happening. But you still right there on the picture.
Well, I'm good.
you like a twin. It just went off.
Did I finish?
Yes, he did.
Damn, I missed that. Are we
Yeah.
still live?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody, my thing froze. My wife tells me to plug it in, but that's too much like right. I want y'all to know. I just want to briefly say this to you. I say it time and time again about my panel. I say it time and time again about my circle. This Doc taught us to teach you get 7 people, your 7 closer friends, and I'll tell you where your future is. We talked about a bunch of things today, a bunch of topics. Gina said something, and I laughed when she said it. When she said, when y'all was gone, it was like my family was gone. I missed something. Gina, now that I'm back, real talk, I realize now I missed this so much. This is so informative. Yeah. We talk about so many topics and stuff. Look, I laugh at Gina so much. Gina's defensive. You say something to her she don't like, she gonna get on you, won't she? She makes sure she'll jump. She's defensive. But look how busy Gina Day is. But she makes sure that she take time out for this podcast.
Multitasking right now.
All the time. This is all the time. Hey, y'all, thank you for allowing us into your rooms. Thank you for allowing us into your phone, allowing us into your homes and everything. Brian, you were really inspirational today. Thank you for so many topics and stuff. You had a lot of great stuff to say. Everybody did. All right, y'all. Let's hands up to a good show. Doc moved on. Gina, closing thoughts?
I just want to just say keep the Ahmaud Arbery family in your prayers. Keep the Colin Powell's family in your prayers. Like Party Marty always says, find something constructive to do with yourself today.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than having a conversation with somebody that don't know what you know. Share it. That's all.
Well,
And, get the shot.
Mask it or casket.
Mask it or casket.
CC, close the thought.
My closing thoughts are, as always, to perform a random act of kindness. Help somebody through word or through deed. It doesn't always have to be financial, if you don't have the means, but sometimes just a kind word, sometimes just a smile can go a long way, and you never know how you can change a person's day in just that way. And I wanted to say also really quickly that, for people that are looking for proof or ways to make excuses to not get the shot, Colin Powell was fully vaccinated and he died. He also had cancer and Parkinson's disease. So there was underlying conditions there. So please, if you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. And those of us who are vaccinated, please continue to wear the mask. And when the booster shots become available, get those. But just be kind to somebody today. It don't cost you a dime.
My closing thought is I want to tell y'all that's not getting the shot how proud I am of some of y'all. I want to watch. I'm going to say, yo, you a teacher, and you turn around and say, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to let them fire me. They say, anybody that didn't get the shot to work for the state of Maryland now is fired. I'm going to stick to my guns. Fire me. Huh? What's his name? Kyrie Irving. I'm going to lose $80 million. I ain't getting the shot. Huh? Cam Newton changed his mind. Cam Newton said, I want to be back in the NFL. I got the shot. Cam Newton said, yeah. They got a word for him, Gina. What's that word?
Damn fool.
Damn fools. Run around gonna lose your house and all. I'm making a statement. Yeah, you making a statement. You unemployed. Damn fool. All right, y'all. Hands up to a good show. Hands up to a good show. I would like to say we were longer than usual, but it's a lie. We always long as hell.
And Brian Samuels, we will try to reach out to the mayor and see if we can get him to be on the show. All he can say is yes or no.
That's right. You know what I mean? I got, I do know, not saying personally we hang out and all that kind of stuff, but the lieutenant governor is a friend of James Mosier's, and I've been in his company a lot of times. I know him as, Rutherford, we call him, James Mosier. He knows me as Party Marty. I guess Brian made a good point. All they can say, what'd your mother say? All they can say is no. All they can say is no. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to step out and try that, Brian, see what it do. All right, y'all, let's get out of here. May the work I've done speak for me. May the life I've lived speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may they all say, may the service we give on these podcasts speak for me. Hands up! I'm upstairs with my wife. It ain't gonna be a whole bunch of goodbyes. She gonna hit the delete button. We're gonna be gone. Gina's already packing up. Brian Samuels, good show today, everybody. Thank you. Kenny Davis, take us home. Now go out there, y'all, and have a great day on purpose. I'm Party Marty with Simply Us. That's our time. We out.